T to the V to the L to the I to the N to the E, TVLine.
We're rolling. Orphan Black.
Yo!
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. First question for you, Ari. When did you find out, and what was your reaction that Mark was a clone?
I found out about 10 days before. Episode 9 was still shooting, I think, and Graham, one of the creators, called me, and he let me know. And then I sat down, and I tried to collect my breath.
Tatiana has obviously set a very high bar for clone performances. Does that make you nervous?
It didn't until now.
Yeah. Way to go, Michael.
It's like anything, you know, because anytime that anybody approaches a character, we approach it, you approach it as an individual. So it's, if you're given the opportunity to play these clones, it's not like, oh my God, I have to do like special clone acting. There's some technical stuff involved in terms of talking to no one, but it's like, it's hard to compare, I would assume.
You know, I'm just going to approach it the way I approach, you know, playing one character, except for now I have a few, and it's just really exciting. I mean, this is a dream. Getting on the show to begin with is a dream come true. And then to have that revelation at the end of the season, you know, we'll see. And I have all the support of everybody, and Tat as well.
When he sat down in that diner scene in season 2, episode 1, when you sat down, I think I sent you a Facebook message about it.
Yeah.
I was like, I think I used the word gravitas, or some like very dramatic word to explain what you feel. I was in the ADR booth, what you feel when he sits down. It's like the molecules in the room shift.
Wait, you guys are still on
Incredible
Facebook? Who's on Facebook anymore?
I'm on Friendster.
Yeah, me too.
What is
I think you're on
Friendster?
Tinder.
Did any of the other male cast members, did you suspect or wonder if you were a clone?
Never. Donnie, never.
Yeah, I did, but I think it would be very gimmicky if Paul was a clone. I'm so happy that they chose Ari. I think it's, you know, it was the unexpected, and you know, I think he's going to do a great job.
Yeah, I think it's impossible not to, because the show, we don't get, nobody tells us anything.
Yeah, we don't know.
It would be impossible not to have the thought creep into your brain every once in a while going, God, I wonder, or monitor, am I really a bad guy?
Yeah.
At the end of all this, is it going to be a ruse? It's, but I think going with the shock value is, and because Ari's so talented, why would you not develop that? Why would you not let someone who has the chops attempt to investigate all these new people? We'd be crazy not to.
Yeah, and Ari doesn't sleep, and we have we sleep a lot, don't we, Jordan? And we can't work 20-hour days, right?
No, I can't work that on my schedule.
We couldn't do that.
Jordan, were the Felix, Tony romantic scenes as trippy for you to play as it was for the viewer to watch?
There was a lot of fear involved when the storyline broke, which was we've established all these dynamics, sibling dynamic, friend dynamic, science buddy, weird psycho babysitter whenever Felix is looking after Elena. So it was interesting. It was scary. It was like, the one thing I tried not to do when I got the script was panic, because if you panic, your system shuts down and that's it. You know, you're not feeling anything. Your hormones take over, your adrenaline's pumping, and you just can't think very clearly. So I just decided, I thought, I won't not be afraid. I'm going to be afraid from start to finish. So let's just sit in that. And it was uncomfortable, and it was, you know, playing in the muck. But what you saw at the end of it was real. It was the first time we got to see Felix without the theatrics, without the masks. We got to see real fear, real...
Vulnerable.
A real vulnerability. And that was amazing that Tony got to hold a mirror up to Felix and say, you know, don't try to fool me with all of this nonsense, this sort of Billy Idol routine, this David Bowie's. Like, I know who you are. I know who you are because there's me and you and me. And Tat and I just ended up having an incredible time. And the kiss was kind of hot.
Kind of weird.
It was.
Kind of
You
weird.
guys are like,
Kinda
you
hot.
guys are like brother and sister in real life. It was so odd to see it.
Yes, that's how I felt too.
It
was
is.
yeah.
So close.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just it though. Like, that's so like humanity to look at something like that and be like, oh no, that's perverted, or that's where we're all, at the end of the day, the fantasies, the things we don't tell each other, the weirdness about sex, about love, about relationships. Like it's that's a universal truth. It's why it rocked people. It's why people were uncomfortable and why they were sort of a little unsure as to how to feel, because it moved them. It didn't necessarily move them in a, oh, I feel warm and safe and at home, but it moved them in a, and that's art. That's what it's supposed to do.
Christian, how fun was it to play Donnie as a badass?
So much fun. After seeing him get...
But he's got a great ass.
Thank you very much.
Was that your ass?
Oh yeah, there's no butt double.
Okay.
That was
Check.
all Brune butt. Donnie getting to like finally be cool in some way was great, because for the first season and a half, it was always Donnie sort of being the butt of jokes or on the end of a glue gun and whatnot. But it's great to see him come into himself a little bit and be that sort of father figure for the family, and him and Allison working together now. It's going to be a lot of fun to explore for Tat and I, because we love to work with each other, but it was always bickering in the acting, in the scene work. So now it's like, okay, we're working as a team. Let's grow this. Let's get this marriage back on track.
We learned a lot about Mrs. S this season.
We did indeed.
Any questions you still have that are unanswered that you'd like to find out about?
Well, Lita, you know, how much she, how involved she was at the beginning, where her knowledge comes from. That's still, I mean, there's a lot of stuff we don't know. You know, we don't, we're fans of the show as well, because we wait for the scripts to come in to learn things. But I have a certain kind of idea about why she armed herself with so much knowledge for protection, and she does certainly have a very strong moral compass, although she does bad stuff sometimes, but it's usually for a good reason. But there's a lot more that she knows that she's not letting on, and more she knows about where Sarah came from and all of that she hasn't exposed yet, and I really wonder why.
And Dylan, are you relieved that Paul isn't all bad, and were you starting to think, wait a second, he's turning out to be quite the villain?
I certainly did, Michael. I thought when that Felix scene with Paul, when he tries to frame him for the murder, I thought he was going to become unredeemable. I was like, what are you doing to me, guys? Like, everybody's going to hate me. Not that I want to invest in the character. I don't really, you know, I care what the audience thinks, but at the same time, I portrayed him as a guy that I didn't think he was all bad, and I thought that was the route he was going down, and the fact that, you know, he was, you know, he knew what was going on all the time, the whole time. He was playing the double agent. I was very relieved at the end. That also that he helped out Sarah, that there was some sort of form of redemption for him, because I think this character can really grow, and I would like to see a lot more of his backstory and his involvement with Castor and why he got involved with Beth originally. I would like to see that explored in season 3.